Your gut microbiome has more genetic material than your own body's DNA, 150 times more, making you in many ways more microbial than human. And those microbes, they're not just sitting there, they're producing vitamins, training your immune system, and directly influencing how well our body digests food. But here's the problem. Those beneficial microbes are constantly under stress. Things from antibiotics, toxins, processed foods, and just everyday stress. So how do we support them? Well, one promising approach that is gaining attention today is the use of symbiotics. The word symbiotic comes from syn, meaning together or synergistic, as well as biotic, meaning life. So symbiotics are supplements that contain both probiotics as well as prebiotics in the same supplement. Now, probiotics are those live bacteria, things like lactobacillus and bifidobacterium, that are going to help to reestablish those beneficial microbes in the gut. Now, prebiotics are those plant fibers, things like inulin or galacto-oligosaccharides or fructo-oligosaccharides. These are going to be that food source that are going to feed those beneficial microbes. So when you take a symbiotic, you're not only putting those beneficial microbes into the gut, you're also feeding them exactly what they need to help them grow and establish themselves in your gut. So we want to reseed as well as nourish the gut, and symbiotics do both. But if we already have probiotics and prebiotic separate options, why not just take those? I'm going to dive into that next, but first, I'm Katie Bailey. I'm a registered dietitian at Fluso Nutrients, where we provide supplement education and professional quality options for you to make the world of nutrition supplements a little bit easier to navigate. As always, be sure to check with your main nutrition literate healthcare provider before starting anything new, as we can't know your full medical history to provide a personalized recommendation. Probiotics alone can be great, but some don't survive the acidic environment of the stomach. And even if they do, if they land in a gut that doesn't have their fuel source, then they may not colonize effectively. It's like tossing seeds onto dry soil. Now, prebiotics, on the other hand, are amazing for long-term health, but they also don't discriminate. So they'll feed the bacteria that are already in the gut. So if the gut is imbalanced, it will feed bacteria that may not be the most desirable strains, and that can lead to things like bloating or discomfort. So symbiotics can help with both of these problems. The probiotic strains are carried in alongside their preferred fuel source, helping with survival and colonization. The prebiotic portion is more targeted since it is paired with their beneficial strains. Now, what does this mean for digestion? Let's jump into the benefits. So we know that gut health is central to almost every system in the body, but for digestion specifically, this is what symbiotics can do. So it allows for better nutrient absorption. So a balanced microbiome is going to help us break down complex foods. So freeing up vitamins, minerals, and different phytonutrients that may have otherwise passed through unused. It can also promote regular bowel movements. So they help to normalize transit time, which can help to improve constipation, diarrhea, and just normalize or make more predictable digestion. Next is reduce gas and bloating. So by crowding out bad bacteria, it can really help to have a balanced gut microbiome, and this can lead to less excess fermentation or discomfort in the gut. A stronger gut barrier. So we know that a strong microbiome is going to strengthen our intestinal lining, which will help to prevent leaky gut, which we know is a huge driver of inflammation, food sensitivities, and even autoimmunity. And then lastly, just improving microbial diversity. So symbiotics encourage a wider range of beneficial species, which is going to be key for resilience and long-term digestive health. So if you're wondering, this sounds great, how do I use symbiotics properly? So let's dive into some practical tips. When it comes to choosing supplements, I always like people to look at the specific strains that they're taking in rather than just getting one that will say, probiotic blend. I like to look for the specific strains, things like Lactobacillus rhamnosus GG. That way that you know that you're getting those really keystone bacteria. When you're looking for the prebiotics section, look for ones that are well tolerated, things like inulin or galacto-oligosaccharides. Those ones have a lot of research for being well tolerated in these supplements. So make sure those are actually listed as well. When it comes to timing, I find that this is very much individualized. So I have some clients who prefer to take them right before bed. They feel better on that. I have other clients who feel better taking it with food. So sometimes it takes a little bit of self-experimentation to see what is going to feel best to you. In regards to dosage, always start at a lower dose, increase slowly as tolerated, because sometimes when you introduce these supplements into your system, you can have some temporary gas or loose stools as your body starts to adjust to having it in your system. So sometimes it just takes some time in order to get your body adapted to that. Now, as with all supplements, they're not one size fits all. So Synbiotics are generally considered safe for most healthy individuals, but there are some exceptions. So the first is immunocompromised individuals. So people who are on chemotherapy or have had a recent transplant or just a critical illness. They should only take probiotics or Synbiotics under strict supervision from a professional, because even beneficial bacteria can pose a risk. Next is people with SIBO, or small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. Now, when you take a symbiotic that has those prebiotic fibers, that can make the symptoms worse for SIBO, because those prebiotics are going to feed the bacteria that are in your small intestines that are not supposed to be there. So while you have active SIBO, you may not tolerate taking a symbiotic. Now, it doesn't mean later on, if SIBO is resolved, that you might be able to tolerate it at that point, but in active SIBO, you're probably going to have symptoms from taking it. The next is severe GI conditions. So anyone that's experiencing an active flare of symptoms, especially with like an inflammatory bowel disease or just really complex GI issues, should kind of take them with caution. So anytime someone has really complex GI issues, I always recommend that they work with a practitioner, because they really need to have a personalized plan based on what's going on with them, because a lot of times they don't tolerate these types of supplements in the current phase that they're in. Doesn't mean they won't eventually, but sometimes they just need a little bit of help to determine maybe which strains might be better for them during this phase of healing. So it's always best to work with a practitioner if you have really complex gut issues. And then children and pregnant women, generally safe, but once again, you want to check with your provider just to make sure you're choosing the right strains or dosages for you. So the bottom line is Synbiotics can be really beneficial and powerful and helpful, but also they need to be personalized to you and your specific condition. So let's wrap up our topic for today. So Synbiotics are the combination of probiotics and prebiotics designed to work together in one supplement. They're most effective when taken together than alone, because they help to reseed the gut as well as provide the fuel for those microbes to grow. Now, the benefits include better nutrient absorption, improved bowel regularity, less gas and bloating, and just a stronger gut lining. And while they're safe for most people, those that are immunocompromised, have SIBO, or really complex GI issues should proceed with caution. Now, if you want to have a resilient, balanced gut, Synbiotics may be one of the smartest options to try. If you're interested in trying one, I'll have a few quality options linked below in the description box. That's it for today. If you liked this video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more nutrition videos. Let us know in the comments if you have any questions, and if you're interested in working with our clinic, you can click the link below to schedule an appointment. We do take insurance. You can find more information about that on our website. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.